isn't intuitive, it is intentional. Who you're surrounded by is who you're becoming.
All right, so I just kind of want to test this out to kind of see how this goes. And my name is YB Yosef. I'm the host of To Love Thyself podcast, and I kind of just want to quickly talk about what it means to love yourself, loving yourself one-on-one, right? So every now and again, I'll come on YouTube and these are what's called little snippets, right? To Love Thyself nuggets. So I'll give you a preview of the podcast to come, or a review of the podcast that was just done. We have brand new episodes of the To Love Thyself podcast every single Tuesday of the week. But we're kind of talking about self-care and how to truly love yourself in this environment that we live in. And let's be honest, we live in a chaotic environment, if you think about it. So just this week, just these few months, in my city of Memphis, Tennessee, we've had a scare at the FedEx Forum where the NBA professional team, the Memphis Grizzlies, play, where someone threatened to kill concert goers at a concert. We had a young lady get abducted by just doing her morning run. Then we had a young man go throughout the city, killing 4 people randomly, shooting 7 people, killing 4 of them. And a lot of this stuff, we had 10 people die in Canada from a stabbing rampage. And a lot of these things we don't realize trigger us in a way that it actually does. And make it clear, I live in Memphis, but I was not directly involved or impacted by any of these things whatsoever. But what happened was, while these things were going on, it reminded me of different things that happened in my past, whether it was living in a drug-infested, crime-infested neighborhood, when me and my wife had our first child here in Memphis, and the things that I had to go through, the things that we had to go through, almost each and every weekend, just being reminded how I had to grab my daughter from her crib just about every single weekend because there was senseless violence in the streets. Just random drive-bys would happen. You would call the police and they wouldn't respond to you. It was quite the traumatic experience. And then me and my wife lived through the Boston bombing. We were living in the Boston area, specifically Brockton, Massachusetts. But my wife worked at Northeastern University, and she was at work when the bombing happened. So all I get a call saying, "Hey, I'm asleep. Wake up. Hey, have you watched the news?" "No, I haven't watched the news." "You should turn on the news." And I turn on the news, and I realize what's going on, and I'm arrested by fear, because I can't get into the city to help my wife, and I don't know what's going on. And by the time she makes it home, they catch the guys, and they get away. Now there's this whole lockdown of the whole Boston area. You can't go anywhere, you can't go outside, leave your doors locked, stay away from your windows, type thing. And then after that, I don't remember if it was the Patriot Day or 4th of July that happened after that, but we get off the red line there in Boston, and all I see is this huge military presence, and it just moved me the wrong way, and we got right back on the subway train, headed right back to the South Shore. And those are things that I actually forgot about until the events that unfolded here in my city with this senseless violence. And it kind of allowed me to see what my triggers were. I suffer from anxiety. So a lot of times if I'm in the home and I even want to go out the house, I can't. Obviously to go to work, to pick up my kid, things I have to do to maintain, a roof over my head and clothes on my back and food on my table, absolutely. But just regular leisure stuff, I have to work really, really hard to get myself outside of my house, and it's quite sad, in my opinion. But I didn't realize this anxiety was triggered by all these things that have happened in my past, up until now. So this is just a raw video. It's probably not the best lighting and all that stuff. I didn't care about that in this video at all. You see my studio raw with all my undone painting and all the foolishness. But what I wanted to get out of this was that we don't know sometimes what our triggers are until we get triggered. But when we realize what our triggers are, we have to do the responsible thing and take care of those, right? So now the thing is, okay, I need to start talking about some of those things and how they make me feel, and why they make me feel the way that they make me feel, so that I am not grippled by fear every time I want to leave my house. I'm not grippled by fear every time I see something on the TV show. Now, those triggers return. Absolutely they will. But we have to, unfortunately, learn how to live with them in a way to where our lives can be productive. And we're not arrested by fear. We're not arrested by anxiety. We can go out and have fun with our family, and not worry about is something going to happen at this event. We can go out and have fun with our friends and not have to have a 24-hour, 48-hour notice so that you can psych yourself up to do all these different things. And I don't want to live like that. I don't want you all to live like that. So to love thyself means being honest about yourself, where you are, especially in your mental state, and voicing that to someone who can help you. That someone may be your spouse, that someone may be another sibling, that someone may be your parents, that someone may be a friend, and sometimes that someone's a counselor, someone you don't even know. And it's okay to get counseling. It's okay to talk to somebody. Sometimes your family doesn't deal with what you deal with, so they can't really understand. They can have empathy, right? But they can't really understand what's going on. So I challenge you, my challenge to you is whatever that trigger is, recognize it, be honest about it, and then just go get help. Because to truly love thyself, we have to be in a good state mentally, not just for ourselves, but for everybody around us. Because like I said before, as my wife's nonprofit, their mantra is, we're trying to create a better you so we can be a better us. And I want the same for everyone that's a part of this tribe, that watches this YouTube channel, that subscribes to the podcast, or maybe you just came across here by happenstance. But I want you to be at your best self so that you can help others around you be at their best self. That's all I have for this video. If you have not already subscribed to this YouTube channel, please do so. Please give a thumbs up if this is the kind of content that you like to listen to. It really helps my channel and YouTube's algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, please do so. There is a link down in the description below to where you can listen to the podcast and subscribe and support. So I thank you all. And as I end every single podcast, I'll be ending these YouTube nuggets as well. Listen, be kind to yourself, love others, be well.